Hello, this is Megan from Megan Mills Schools. Just stopping in to do a little rundown of our morning basket. I have here a couple of things that we're working through already, a couple of things that we've already done, and a couple of things that I'm planning to work on in the next couple of weeks. So first I wanted to share a couple of our very favorite holiday books. This first one, which I love for solstice, every year the kids and I take a walk in our local conservation area and leave little nuts and seeds and dried fruits and things out for the animals. And we always like to read Bear Noel by Dunray before we go because it's the story of a bear who does a very similar thing. All the animals waiting for him to come and bring them their holiday treats. And then Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree, which is a classic. And the last Christmas tree, which I believe is the reason why my daughter made us get a particular tree this year. It was not the perfect tree, but it was the tree that she said needed us the most. So those are some of our favorite holiday books. And now some of the books that we have been working on are, so we have our little graham cracker. Gingerbread house is over there from yesterday. We had a couple of friends over. We've been working on Mary Pope Osborne's Tales from the Odyssey. And this is sort of a combined volume of the first couple books. And we just finished the first one. So tomorrow we'll start book 2. Today we also read Ken Robin's Bridges, and I had never read this book before, but I really liked it. It's a very gentle, very beautifully illustrated introduction to the different parts and styles of bridges that can be built, so that was really interesting. We've been trying to go through just like one spelling rule every day or two to just sort of get the basics down. We've never done any real formal spelling curriculum because we don't really do any formal curriculums at all. But I feel like we're getting to the point where the kids are asking more and more and more often how you spell things, and I would like them to at least be able to make an educated guess on their own. So we're working on this. And we've gotten to Life of Fred Edgewood, which it's kind of funny the way that we're working through Life of Fred. It's almost more geared toward the level that my first grade daughter is on, but it's a really good review for the boys, and we don't bother to write all of the problems out at the end. We usually just kind of go around the table and everybody does a problem out loud, but they really enjoy it. They think that Fred is hilarious, and like I said, it's just really good to kind of keep going over all the concepts that it brings up. One of our major goals for this year is to write more. And so last week we worked on fiction stories, and I have here lined up a couple more books, one about poems and one about reports that I'm going to try to incorporate over the next couple of weeks. And then we've got, Because of Winn-Dixie, I think is going to be our next, after we finish up the Tales from the Odyssey, our next morning basket read aloud. I grabbed this one, and we'll probably just read it like tomorrow. It's a very short little picture book. Bear has a story to tell, but I love, love, love this book. And I always like to put a little something just kind of beautiful and or fun into the morning basket every time we do it. And so this will be one that we'll read maybe a couple times over the next week or so. I picked this one up from my library, Yawning Yoga. And this is, again, just like a very gentle introduction. I thought in this season of really kind of intense energy levels and excitement that it might be kind of nice to see if we could, over the next week, get in just these few calming yoga poses every day. I think it's a fabulous idea. I imagine my daughter's going to want to do it with me. We'll see if I can get the boys to kind of get on board. This book I actually purchased after I saw it on There's a YouTube channel, and I watch it all the time, and she's a mom of lots of children. She's really fabulous, and I can't remember her name, but I'll link it down below. And so she recommended this Drawing with Children book and said that she used it with all of her kids. And so I'm reading through the preliminary part of it myself right now, getting ready to use it. We've also been doing a very short series from chalkpastels.com just to try to get the kids sort of more focused on creative work over the next little bit. I feel like art is something that's really easy to focus on in the cold months of winter, and it will get us ready maybe for a little bit of nature journaling in the spring. On that same idea, I picked up A Nest for Celeste, which is actually a little fiction story with some really, really beautiful illustrations in it about a mouse who lives with Audubon and his assistant and has some little adventures, and I thought that would be a nice way. It says that it's a story about art, inspiration, and the meaning of home, which I just thought would be a nice one to maybe throw into our morning basket in a couple of weeks. And then I picked this one up too, The Drawing Lesson, a graphic novel that teaches you how to draw. And my boys love, my daughter too, but they just love graphic novels. And I thought that this might be a kind of nice way for them to gently introduce themselves to some of the basic sketching concepts. I flipped through it a little bit myself, and I think that it's a really nice, it's kind of like broken down into small pieces. And I thought if I just sort of laid that out someplace, they'd be pretty likely to pick it up and look it over. So that is sort of the short list of things that we have worked on or will be working on over the next little bit. I hope that maybe it got you some ideas about what you might like to do with some of your kids. And I will be back in a couple of weeks with another update. I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday. I'll talk to you soon.